All right, lesbophobic grandmother. Dear Billy Ballbuster, before I get to what I want to talk about, I just want to say that I'm a big dude, and you, sir, have inspired me to lose weight. Good man. Since April 3rd, I've been working out almost every day, and I've lost 35 pounds. So thank you for that, Bill. You're a legend. Dude, you're a legend. That's fucking tremendous. That's what you got to do. Go to the gym every day. My big thing is I'm on the road for 2 weeks here, so, you know, I've actually stayed on my gym schedule. I went to the gym the first day. Second day was my day off, and now the next 3 days in a row. I do 3 on, 1 day off. So I'm doing my podcast, and we're driving down to Cincinnati. So when I get to Cincinnati, you know, it's not a long drive, so I'm gonna do the old treadmill. Hopefully they'll have a pull-up bar or something there, so I can do my pull-ups and that type of shit. Because I have a bet with Paul Verzi that when I'm 70, I'm going to be able to do 10 of those fucking things. I was actually thinking the other day, if I could pat myself on the back as I was on my pegboard in my garage, which I have the long, skinny one that I actually hung sideways. So I just go along the thing sideways because, you know, you need like fucking, you need like a fucking, you know, 10-foot ceiling. Probably 11 with the size of my head to go up a pegboard and have the headroom to get up to the top. And I didn't want to hang it lower and start, you know, with my fucking basically on my knees. For whatever reason, I didn't want to do that. And I was going across the pegboard. And I was actually thinking at some point going, dude, I'm 47 years old going across a pegboard. At some point, I got to be impressed. That's pretty impressive. And after Burr Kreischer gave me that Men's Health thing to increase your grip strength, that really helped me on the fucking pegboard. And also my technique, I held, you know, when you hold it, you got to have it, your forearm's almost touching your bicep, and you got to have it, and then the rest of your arm is basically right on your side. You got to get in close, so you got more leverage. I had my arm too far away from my chest, and I couldn't do it. So anyways, he goes, a few years back, my parents got divorced after 17 years of a bad marriage. What put the final nail in the coffin was my mother's secret relationship with another lady who is now her girlfriend, who I'll call Kate for the sake of this email. Kate with a K, not with a C, like old Bruce there. She has since moved in with us, which sounds weird, but my brother, sister, and I all have a great relationship with Kate. Also, it wasn't just something oh my God, can you imagine that poor bastard? What a mind fuck that is. Dude, if you're in a relationship, okay, and it ends, and it turns out the other person's gay, I mean, you have to be sitting there going, this person never loved me. I just wasted my fucking life. And then on top of that, your family bonds with the new fucking lover. That's just a double mind fuck. Like, is there any sympathy for me? What the fuck I'm going through? I legitimately love this fucking woman. Wow. Anyway, she has since moved in with us, which sounds weird. My brothers and sisters and I have a great relationship with Kate. Well, that's good. That's actually progressive. Also, it wasn't just something my mom just drove into in spite of my dad. My mom and Kate really do love each other, and they have 3 strong years together to back that up. Dude, you got any sympathy for your dad? Here's the problem. My grandmother has grown farther and farther apart from my mother ever since she turned lesbian. No, dude, she was always there. She pretty much hates Kate. Dude, by the way, you can't turn gay. You're gay. You know what I mean? You're fucking gay. It's like, did you turn heterosexual? Was it a decision you made, you know, at like 4 or 5 fucking years of age? That's the first time I remember. I always tell this fucking story whenever somebody says turned gay. It's like, you are what you are. I remember I was laying on the floor. They had this giant rug when I was in kindergarten. And this girl asked to get up and go to the bathroom. She could go to the bathroom. And I was laying there playing with some fucking toy, you know, holding it up like a little kid does. And when she walked by me, she walked by close enough that I could see up her skirt. to see her 5-year-old thigh, which sounds weird, but I was 5, so I was crushing it, right? And when I saw it, you know, I felt like this fucking jolt in my heart. And I remember I sat up and I just turned around and stared at her as she walked out, like, what the fuck was that? You know, there wasn't a decision made. So I imagine if you were gay, right? Am I really going to talk about 5-year-old balls? I can't do that. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. But to say that you turned gay would mean that you also turned heterosexual, which means at some point you were sitting there and, you know, metaphorically or hypothetically, whatever the proper word is, there was a dick and a pussy on the table and you were going, eeny, meeny, my, let's see, what are we going to choose here? Let's weigh the options. You didn't. You were just straight. All right? Anyways, so she pretty much hates Kate and she believes she has perverted my mom. She won't even so much as come over for a meal, and I can barely mention Kate around her. Mind you, my grandmother lives only 9 houses down from us. Here's my question. Is there any way to make my grandmother more accepting of my mother and Kate? Her option hasn't budged in 3 years, and I'd love for her to at least be cordial. Your infinite and hilarious wisdom will be greatly appreciated. Thanks, and go fuck yourself. No. I'm sorry. I usually offer a ray of light. There isn't. This is going to be one of these deathbed things that she's going to have to fucking do. There isn't. When somebody feels that way, feels that strongly, all I can say is just keep inviting her to stuff. Maybe eventually she'll come around. I was surprised that in all of this, she didn't have nothing about your dad and the shit that he had to go through. I mean, that's fucking unbelievable. You know, they actually did an article about that, you know, when Bruce became Kate, you know, and they were going, oh my God, isn't this amazing? This is fucking, you know, and then like it's the 4th of July because everybody was so afraid to be on the wrong side of that issue that all of a sudden, you know, they'd lose their advertising and then they couldn't make their mortgages. That's what most of that reaction was about, I felt, was about, you know, cover your ass. Let's get out in front of this story and show how much we, you know, we are accepting of this. Or like the pieces of shit ESPN, let's ignore a woman dying of cancer who's still playing basketball, and let's make fucking Kate the sportsman of the year so that we get the exclusive interview with her. Fucking pieces of shit. Anyways, the fuck am I going with this? Like, they actually did this article, an informed article on it that wasn't homophobic, but actually talked about the people that were married and the depression and devastation that they go through because they, you know, they lose that person. You know what I mean? Like, Bruce Jenner is gone. And if you loved Bruce, if you were in a fucking relationship, you know, with him, like his wife was, I mean, all of a sudden just poof, just fucking bad enough you go through a fucking, it's almost like they died. So, I mean, there is like a crazy thing there. Or if you have a relationship where all of a sudden, there's nothing more definitive, I think, that if your partner never fucking loved you the way you loved them, if not only do you go through a divorce, that they then, you find out that the whole time that they were gay. So it's just like, I would be going like, oh my God. So was I like grossing you out every time we had sex? I would be fucking devastated. So I was a little surprised. You got nothing in there about your dad. I mean, he must be like, fuck her. Is he crushing it? Maybe he's got some fucking young chick on the side. I have no idea, but I'm getting away from the thing here. I would say no. There's no way when somebody's that walled off. And, you know, on one level, you just got to be accepting of your grandmother, that, like, she grew up in a different time and her child brain was filled up with this shit. And, you know, it's fucking atrophied in there. There's nothing you can do about it, but I don't know. Just keep coming over there. You know what I would do? I would openly joke about it in front of her to loosen her up. You know? That's what I would do. I just remembered remember that guy, that old guy that lived beneath me last time when I had the apartment way back in the day, and he used to always yell at my wife through the floors, and he was a fucking asshole. We just started being overly nice to him. my wife started whistling at him like he was a good-looking guy, and we fucking basically wore the guy down. And at some point, before the dementia set in, and he totally went fucking crazy, was standing out on the fucking porch with just a T-shirt on. That was a hell of a sight. I would just openly joke about it. I would just be like, I would start calling her Kate that you hate. That's what I would do. Hey, my mom and Kate that you hate is going down to the store. Hey, Katie that you hatey? Yeah, they're going to go to the movies. They're probably holding hands right now, Grandma. They're holding hands, Grandma. Like, I would just do that. I'd be like, come on, Grandma. There was never one, you never had one half a second gay moment, There was just one girl. I don't know what she did. You just admiring her beauty, and I don't know. Maybe you just wanted to kiss her on her shoulder and just try to gross her out. And just, I'm just kidding. I would, you know what? I would break her balls about it. Every time I saw her, I would do that in the beginning, and then I would talk to her about whatever I wanted to talk about. That's what I would do, and see if you could. And then I would tell Kate that that's what I'm doing. And then when Kate was there, I'd be like, hey, Grandma, there's Kate that you hate. Oh, Haiti Katie, there she is. Look at her. As much as you hate her, you got to admit this is a hell of a meatloaf sandwich. Granted, you don't want to know where those fingers were when she was making it. Don't take it that far. Sorry, I had to get out of it with a joke.